IRS one-time forgiveness is a special kind of forgiveness that applies to certain penalties and interest on those penalties assessed by the IRS. So I'm going to tell you what penalties qualify for IRS one-time forgiveness. I'm going to tell you how IRS one-time forgiveness works, and I'm going to tell you how you can get IRS one-time forgiveness. Okay? So first of all, what penalties qualify for IRS one-time forgiveness? 3 kinds of penalties do. The first one is the failure to file penalty. This is the penalty for failing to file your tax return by its due date or its extended due date if you got an extension. This penalty is generally equal to 5% of the unpaid tax liability for each month or part of a month that your tax return is late. The penalty maxes out at 25% of the balance due. Second kind of penalty that qualifies for IRS one-time forgiveness is the failure to pay penalty. This is a penalty assessed on you if you do not pay the taxes you owe for a year by their due date, the due date for payment. And this penalty is equal to 0.5% a month or part of a month that you have failed to pay in what you owe to the IRS. And like the failure to file penalty, the failure to pay penalty maxes out at 25%. For many of our clients, both of these penalties are running at the same time. For the first 5 months, the failure to file penalty is reduced by the failure to pay penalty. So the maximum penalty for both of these penalties combined is not 50% of the balance, it's actually 47.5% of the balance. Third kind of penalty that can qualify for IRS one-time forgiveness is the failure to deposit penalty. This one is applicable to employers who fail to pay in their required periodic payroll taxes. So those are the 3 penalties that can qualify for IRS one-time forgiveness. And really, IRS one-time forgiveness are kind of a misconception, and I think it kind of has to do with the name, one-time forgiveness or first-time abate, whatever, because you can actually get it more than once, and we've gotten it for our clients more than once in very special circumstances, okay? Because how it works is the IRS is looking at your past compliance history to make the determination of whether you qualify for one-time forgiveness, okay? And so that's what it's based on, really. If you've been a good little taxpayer recently, you've filed on time, you've paid on time, right? No, you haven't been charged these penalties, right, recently, then you're probably a good candidate for IRS one-time forgiveness. But again, it's only the penalties and the interest on the penalties. It's not the underlying liability, right? For forgiveness on what you owe, your underlying liability, along with that penalties and interest, you got to look at the offer in compromise. Okay, I made tons of videos on offer in compromise right here on the channel. There's a link to my offer in compromise playlist right here at the top of the screen. But for this one-time forgiveness, which is much less strenuous than the offer in compromise, right? Offer in compromise basically almost like an audit, right? Audit of all your bank statements, and they're gonna look at the figures you give them and go over them with a fine-tooth comb and say, hey, this we're gonna reject this expense and that expense. That's why I got to be aggressive. But the one-time forgiveness, okay, that's just on penalties and interest on the penalties, and it's not like all the penalties and interest are gonna be waived. If you owe like several years of penalties in a row, they're probably just gonna be looking at the first year, right? And then going back from there to see how compliant you've been recently. So that's how the one-time forgiveness works. How do you get it? You just got to ask them, man. You just got to ask the IRS. Call them up. Say, hey, do I qualify for this? Hopefully they give you a straight answer. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes for our clients, they don't think they qualify for the one-time forgiveness, and that's why you have to stick up for them and say, oh, they actually do qualify for the one-time forgiveness, and here's why. You could also submit a written request as well, but the most common way to get it is just by calling up the IRS and making your case and asking them for it, okay? My firm, Choice Tax Relief, we have, I don't know how much penalties and interest we've got wiped clean for folks using the one-time forgiveness, probably hundreds of thousands of dollars for the penalty, probably maybe even more than that. I don't know. Maybe over 7 figures of penalties. That'd be good for my marketing, right? How much penalties we've gotten abated for clients. Maybe I should go back and look through our case files and add those all up. Anyway, folks, that's how IRS one-time forgiveness works. If you have any questions about it, leave it in the comments. If you'd like to book a free consultation with us, give us a call, 866-8000-TAX. We are Choice Tax Relief. Or you can fill out the form on our website, choicetaxrelief.com. I have other tax relief videos here on the left-hand side of your screen for your education and enjoyment. I'll see you in the next video, folks. Bye-bye.